It's an illness that has sickened hundreds of kids across the country, especially in the Midwest, causing severe coughing, sneezing, trouble breathing. And tonight, we're told at least one child in our area has been taken for treatment suspected of contracting the bug. That child was taken from Conemaugh Hospital in Johnstown to Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh Thursday for medical attention. Now, it's the only suspected case in our region we've heard of so far. Maria Miller has been looking into this afternoon, and she talked with local doctors and has more on the virus new at 6. Maria?
Well, Jen, that child was taken to Pittsburgh yesterday as a precautionary measure because Conemaugh just doesn't have the intensive care facilities for children that Pittsburgh does. But to be very clear up front, doctors here are just comparing this to any other type of cold or flu, and they don't want people to panic. It's known as Enterovirus 68, one of hundreds of strains of the virus that's sweeping across the country, infecting hundreds of kids.
It hits children most severely and most commonly. The vast majority of time they get better in just several days to at most a week. But occasionally, especially if there's underlying lung disease, then the symptoms can be much more severe.
Conemaugh Hospital's chief of emergency medicine, Dr. Daniel Weiner, says the virus isn't new and tends to make an appearance different times throughout the year. In fact, he says seeing it now isn't unusual.
It's been around for a very long time. We see enterovirus infections quite often, especially in the wintertime. Change of weather will sometimes bring it on. Oftentimes what brings it on is school. You know, kids get together with other kids, they pass it from one child to another.
What is unusual is the severity of symptoms children have been seeing. That's why on Thursday, a child from Johnstown was taken to Pittsburgh for treatment.
This one particular case that we sent earlier this week was somebody who at that moment did not need to have pediatric intensive care. We were concerned because of the degree of symptoms that he may possibly deteriorate. So just to be on the safe side, we thought it best to send him to Children's.
We reached out to officials at the Department of Health on Friday who told us they're monitoring the situation closely but haven't heard of any particular cases in Pennsylvania. In fact, they said the specific strain of enterovirus isn't reportable unless it's linked to meningitis. They went on to say, quote, testing for EVD68 is not standard, and the specialized testing probably wouldn't be sought unless there was a large-scale outbreak in Pennsylvania.
Usually children are much better before the results come back, so we tend not to test for it, especially because there's no particular treatment for it anyway.
A spokesperson with Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh said they have been experiencing a high volume of children with respiratory illnesses, but have not confirmed any of those cases as this strain of enterovirus, and that includes the boy from Johnstown brought there on Thursday. For more information on the virus, you can head on to our website, WJACTV.com. Reporting live, Maria Miller, 6 News.
Thanks, Maria.